Hey guys, coming at you outside again because it is too gorgeous here in New England to be inside. So I'm bringing you outside with me while I'm getting some steps, and we're gonna have some real talk about what's holding you back. Today, we're talking about the impossible goal of aiming for perfection. I want you to get outside of that head of yours. And let's acknowledge that perfection is a bar that's always going to be too high. It's going to be really hard for you to reach that bar if that's the only thing you're aiming for when you get out of the gate. Instead, how about you give yourself some grace and aim for imperfect progress. Be willing to be mediocre at something new. Be willing to actually suck at something new. How about that? We so often don't even get started for fear of failure. And the world around us teaches us that, perfection is the only option. And other than that, you're a failure. And that is so not true, especially when it comes to our finances, because we know that they don't teach this stuff in school. So here we are as an adult, trying to figure this out, not really having a lot of good guidance, somebody walking alongside of us saying like, hey, here's actually how you can do it. Here's how you can apply it to your personal life. There's a lot of theory. There's a ton of education out there, which is cool. But sometimes it's hard just to get started. And there's not a lot of conversation about how ugly and messy anything is when you first get started. So I'm going to be the first to admit that I mess stuff up, especially when I'm starting something new. I still mess up my calendar all the time, and I'm not new at that, but that feels like a disability of mine. But my point is that sometimes your fear of failure is the biggest obstacle. Instead, just acknowledge that you're going to make some mistakes right out of the gate. You're going to make some mistakes, but you're going to learn from them, which is most important. So when it's time to look at your budget or start one for the first time, which means looking at your finances for the first time, give yourself permission to say, I'm going to have some good days, and I'm definitely going to have some bad days. And when those bad days come, give yourself permission to close the chapter on it for the day and say, I'm going to pick this back up tomorrow. Because you don't have to do it all at once. And it's those little incremental steps. So if you're like, all right, at least what I did is better than yesterday. Use yourself as your own measuring stick, not the rest of the world. So can you be a better version of yourself today versus tomorrow? Can you do something that is an improvement today versus tomorrow? Or versus yesterday, sorry. I'm thinking about tomorrow, but is what you're doing today an improvement from what you tried yesterday? So if today you opened your bank account and you got overwhelmed because you saw a lot of transactions that you have to face are maybe holding you back from hitting your goals, don't tackle it all at once. Don't eat that whole elephant at once. Instead, say, I'm going to pick a category. I keep bringing up subscriptions because that's a place where you can cut back real quickly, real easily, even temporarily. Just say, I'm going to go look at what I'm spending on eating out. Let me just sift through 1 month's worth. And if you get through that 1 month's worth, say, okay, cool, tomorrow I'm going to do 1 more month's worth so that I have 2 months to look at. And maybe not even the next day, but maybe a couple days later, you say, all right, I'm going to pick up a third month and look at what I did on a different month. And now I'll have a 3-month average of where am I spending my money on that category. And then you say, is that realistic? Is that where I want to be spending my money? Is that what I want to be doing with the money that comes into my account? Is it helping me hit my goals? Sometimes your goal is just to start saving something because you've never saved before, like me. Money burnt a hole in my pocket. So if you can relate to this, if you can relate to me, I oftentimes will not do something because I think it's going to be difficult and I think I'm going to be really bad at it at first. Sometimes both of those are true, but it's okay. Just don't be in denial. And it really oftentimes isn't as hard as we fear it will be. So it's usually the fear of what we think we're going to encounter that holds us back from actually just doing it. I'm procrastinating painting a ceiling right now because I think it's going to be really hard and I'm not looking forward to it. But in reality, all I have to do is pour some paint into the paint tray, stick a roller in there, and roll the first swipe, and then I'm on my way. Just like when I painted a bookshelf last week. Didn't know how I was going to tackle it. One shelf at a time. It wasn't fun cutting in all the corners and stuff, but the outcome was amazing. And I got it done. And I feel proud of myself because I was procrastinating. So what's that thing you're procrastinating that maybe you're feeling like in your heart is going to be hard, but you know it is the most important step, the most important next step to get you on this journey? Maybe it's opening a separate bank account to carve out a space for savings, because right now seeing what's left over at the end of the month isn't working. Maybe it's intentionally taking that, swallowing that hard lump right there, I just did it, and committing to putting the same amount in savings every single month and making it work with what's left. Forcing yourself to work on what's left and start with your savings. What if you did that? What if you committed that to giving? That was my first step when I decided I wanted to be able to give God what was His, and I wanted to actually start tithing consistently in my life, because that's where my heart was, not because church made me feel like it. It's where my heart was. It doesn't matter. It's not an issue between you and your church. It's a real commitment and an issue that is only between you and God. So for me, that was something I wanted to take up, and that was a hard lump to swallow when I automated that. And I knew how much money that was going to amount to, and I was so used to living on that money. It meant I had to make some changes in my life. But it was worth it because it meant that I got to put something on top of the list that was more important to me. And that was how I committed to it, was automating that. So there's things in your life that you're probably procrastinating on taking that next step with. And I'm here today to tell you, don't be afraid of the mess. Don't be afraid of a messy beginning. Don't be afraid of a messy middle. People who take big chances get big rewards, and take a chance on yourself. Get after it. Make that thing that's important to you, and show it by how you're handling your finances. So, wanted to give you that little tour day outdoors. Oh, it's beautiful. We are blessed to be able to be walking distance to a really cool piece of property where the schools are on near us, and being able to come out here, just get a little peace and quiet during the day, talk to you guys, process some thoughts is a blessing. Thanks for being with me this week. I'm here to tell you it's not always easy, but it is always worth it. So how can I help you on your journey? Please jump in the comments and talk about it. Let's use this community to talk about the things that we're struggling with, and I'm happy to get in there and help you with that. That's what these weekly check-ins are for, is some motivation that I'm doing it too. Oh, spider web, gross. I'm doing it too. I don't know if you saw that. Anyway, all right, I'm signing out. Bye for now.